Back on the Twin Valley Locker Room Show, which brings you inside Clay-Center Tiger football. The Twin Valley Locker Room Show is powered by Pulse Internet. All your devices, one superior connection. And we're joined by one of the Tiger seniors, Luke Koppes, man on the front line on both offense and defense. And Luke, as we get into game number 3, you've been a part of this system for a long time. How weird is it? We've asked this, I think, every week to somebody, that it's already district play this weekend. Kind of wild?
Yeah, it is to think that district play has started in just week 3 of this season.
Let's talk about how quickly things have gone for you guys. I know disappointing losses in week 1 against Abilene, last week against Marysville, and now you get another league opponent in this district, the Wamego Red Raiders. What do you take out of the game that are positives? I know the coaches have talked about things that you got to work on, but they also point out things that went well, and there were highlights for you guys. What are some of the things you feel good about in the first 2 games?
That we've got guys giving effort and trying their best on every play, even though they may not know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, you know, you're a senior, and we've talked with Coach about this, and you talked about young guys. You do have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and you 7 seniors on the field, but even for you, you could say a little inexperienced on a varsity field. What was the first snap, the first game there at the Den when everything gets going, and now you're a part of everything?
It was fun. It was completely a step up from what I've ever experienced.
And how about Harley Night? You know, you've walked through that before, but you're leading people through there now.
Leading people and being a part of the first guys through that is really fun. That's a great night, even though we lost.
Talk about what's coming up this week with the Wamego Red Raiders. What do you know about them? I'm sure you guys have got some game plans together.
They like to spread the ball around, and they will just try to get the ball to everyone and be outside.
You go on the road for the first time, so new experience there for this team this season. As you get ready for the road trips, we do a little thing called Tiger Talk. I'm not sure if you've watched us before or not. Coach Brown's been hit on the spot a few times. So when you're heading on the road, we've talked about music before, but who is the guy, the Tiger football team, that's going to be the DJ on the bus trip?
Probably either Cooper Glavin or Blake Frederick.
I could almost have guessed that, I think, from outside looking in. Okay, favorite actor or actress? Do you have a favorite that you have to see all their movies?
No, I do not.
Not really? And do you have a pet? And if you do, what is it? What's its name?
I have 3 dogs. Their names are Ruby, Rosie, and Hank.
What kind of dogs?
The Rosie is a black lab, and Hank and Ruby are bloodhounds.
Very good. Luke, go get them this weekend. On Friday night, the Tigers travel on the road for the first time this year to Wamego. Back with the Locker Room Show, now joined by the head coach of the Clay-Center Tigers, Ted Brown. And, Coach, first off, I'll let you correct a question I asked Luke, put him on the spot, gave him the wrong question. District play does not start at Wamego. They're in a different district, but week 4 is when the Tigers will open up postseason.
Yeah, and that's when the playoffs basically start next week. Chapman, I believe, so, yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about it's going to be a little confusing. You guys have it sorted out. The broadcasters, that's why we don't coach. We talk about sports on radio. But as you guys get ready for Wamego, it is one final tune-up then before you get into that postseason play. You know, I asked Luke about some of the positives from the first 2 games. I thought what he said was perfect. And you brought this up from the moment you took over this program. The guys play hard. What are some things you've seen that you're excited about that you can develop and move forward with?
I think the first thing is just getting young kids experience. A lot of these kids, you can't simulate game reps, and when they get game reps, they're just going to be better, and that's the way it goes. So that is one thing that has me excited going forward, and some of them done better than anticipated, and they all play hard, and I think it's like a standard of how Clay-Center is going to play. The kids, you know, the young kids know if we go in, we're going to play hard, give everything we got, and so, you know, getting that standard set is very important.
Things that maybe you've tried to break down with your guys or focus on certain aspects that you want to improve?
Oh, tackling. Tackling is 1, 2, and 3. We talked about tackling. We've done more tackling drills. We've broken down tackling, what they're doing wrong, how to do it correctly. It doesn't really matter what defense that we draw up or throw out there. If we can't tackle, then it's going to be unsuccessful. So that's been the biggest focus this week.
Well, we talk about it because it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's something that needs worked on. It's also, though, so strange to go from preseason and practice, and you're trying to do everything without getting anybody hurt before game time, and then to go full speed against another team that's at a level that you're not I'm not making excuses, but it's difficult to adjust to.
For sure. It's a line that I'm always trying to find where it is, because you want to be prepared, but you want to keep all your guys healthy, especially when you're not really deep. So how much live tackling can you do? And with the new CASA rules, I mean, you just can't do a lot anyway. And it puts more of a burden because after our JV kids go, which is a lot of our team, they can't have live contact that next day. And so they can't tackle that next day. So our Tuesdays, last week, Wednesday, we can't actually go live tackling. We're just working on technique. So it is tough. It is tough to find that line between getting the kids prepared and live tackling and practice versus keeping them healthy and talking about it, maybe going half speed.
As you get ready for Wamego, Luke said it's a team, as far as their offense anyway, that likes to move it around, spread it around the field. What do you see that impresses you about the Red Raiders?
Oh, they have some athletes. They have some really fast guys out there, and that's going to pose a challenge for us. I think that's something that just pops out on film first. Some of their guys, I think they have a kid that transferred from Rock Creek. He's really added another dimension as far as speed goes in their offense.
Okay, Tiger Talk to wrap things up here, Coach, on the Locker Room Show. You heard the questions, and Luke had his answers. Who do you think would be I'll do it this way. Which coach, and you can't say Phil Casper because he is a DJ. He's a DJ for real, or at least he pretends to be on the air. Which coach would play DJ on a road trip?
On a road trip, it would be me because I can't listen to things I don't like very long. But I was going to say Phil. Yeah. You beat me to it.
He's on the air too much already. We can't let him DJ on the bus. Okay, favorite actor, actress? Do you have one that you just always have to see their movies?
Yeah. I have a couple. Denzel Washington, number one. Number two, probably Jake Gyllenhaal. I like him. So those two guys, if they're in a movie, it's usually pretty decent.
No doubt it is. And finally, do you have a pet? If so, what kind of pet and what is it? Or what's its name?
I don't personally have a pet. My son has a turtle, a box turtle, and its name is, he changed it a little bit. I think currently it is named Boxy.
Boxy, okay. It's morphing in the name, I guess. First graders have the right to do all that kind of stuff. Coach, really appreciate it, as always, being with us on the Locker Room Show.
Thank you very much.
Tigers head on the road to Wamego this Friday.